In this video, we've got a couple problems that we want to graph. They're both equations of circles. They're already in standard form. It's just a matter of finding the center, finding the radius, and then putting it on a graph. So actually, first, let's start off by writing the formula for the circle. That's going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So to figure out our center, that's going to be h comma k, and then our radius is just r. Our center, then h is going to be our value that's being subtracted from x. So what's being subtracted from x? That's going to be a positive 3. And then what's being subtracted from y? Well, that's actually a negative 2. And if that doesn't make sense, think of it as like this. We've got y minus our negative 2. So whenever we subtract a negative number, it's the same thing as adding a number. So that's why it looks like y plus 2. Alright, and then 25 we could set equal to r squared. Or you could even just ask yourself, like, what's being squared here? And that's a 5. So 5 squared is 25. Or you could solve this part right here by taking the square root of both sides. And then, of course, r is going to equal 5. So let's graph this. Our center is going to be, where do we say that was? A 3 and then a negative 2. So actually, I'll write that as a point. 3 comma negative 2 is our center. So if I go over 1, 2, 3, and then down 2, there's the center of our graph. And then our radius is 5. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count over to the right, count up to the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you got to do your best to draw a circle. I could use the circle tool here. Let's make that a blue. So let's see if we could get this looking more like a circle here. Yep, so here's our circle here. It's about as close as I'm going to get. It's got a center of 3 comma negative 2, and then the radius is 5. Alright, now here's another type of question that you might come across, and that's when the radius isn't a perfect number. So here's the new question that we're going to go into. We got to figure out our h. So first of all, our h is going to be a negative 1. Okay, our k is going to be a positive 4. And then our radius, we could set this part equal to r squared, just like we did in the last problem. R squared equals 20. So to undo this squaring, you want to take the square root, which means we got to take the square root of 20. So then we got to break this up. The perfect square that goes into 20 is going to be 4. And then 4 times 5 gives us 20. Keep going. Square root of 4 is 2. And then we're multiplying by the square root of 5. Now as far as graphing goes, we've got a negative 1 comma 4 for our center. So I'm going to plot that. I'll go over negative 1 and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's the center right there. But now how would we graph this radius? 2 times the square root of 5. Well, we could round that to, if I use my calculator, I'm getting a 4.47. So that's roughly the radius. So I'm going to count about like 4.5 off of this circle. So we go off of this center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and about a half there. 1, 2, 3, 4, about a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, about a half. And then down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then about a half there. So this is vaguely what my circle is going to be, and I'm not going to use the circle tool at all, but this is going to be very bad. circle. I'm not too good at that. So there you go. So that's how you'd graph something that doesn't have a really nice radius. It's not a whole number.